Have you ever opened your laptop, looked at the assignment you promised yourself you'd finish today, and then somehow ended up watching random videos, scrolling social media, checking messages, and doing literally everything except the thing you were supposed to do? Yeah, me too. And the worst part isn't wasting time. It's that feeling afterward. That guilt. That voice in your head saying, "Why am I like this?" For the longest time, I thought I was lazy. I thought I lacked discipline. I thought successful people had some magical ability to force themselves to work while I didn't. But then I discovered something that completely changed the way I think about procrastination. And strangely enough, it only takes 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes of motivation. Not 5 minutes of meditation. Not some productivity hack with a complicated system. Just 5 minutes. And if you're someone who keeps delaying homework, skipping workouts, putting off content creation, or constantly telling yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," this might be exactly what you need. Because the real problem isn't what you think it is. Let me explain. A few months ago, I had a huge list of things I needed to do. Study for exams, edit videos, reply to messages, work on personal projects. Everything felt important. But every time I sat down to start, my brain immediately looked for an escape route. I'd tell myself, "I'll start after one more video." Then another. Then another. Hours disappeared. And every night I promised myself tomorrow would be different. Sound familiar? Here's what finally hit me. I wasn't avoiding the work. I was avoiding the feeling that came before the work. The uncertainty. The overwhelm. The pressure. Think about it. Most people don't procrastinate because the task is impossible. They procrastinate because the task feels emotionally uncomfortable. Your brain isn't saying, "I can't do this." It's saying, "I don't want to feel this." And that realization changed everything. Because once I understood that, I stopped trying to force myself to complete entire tasks. Instead, I started using what I call the 5-minute system. And this is where things get interesting. The rule is ridiculously simple. Whenever you need to do something, don't commit to finishing it. Commit to just 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes of studying. 5 minutes of writing. 5 minutes of editing. 5 minutes of working out. Nothing more. At first, this sounded stupid. I thought, how can 5 minutes change anything? But that's exactly why it works. Because your brain doesn't resist 5 minutes. Your brain resists 2 hours. Your brain resists a giant project. Your brain resists uncertainty. But 5 minutes? That feels safe. And when something feels safe, your resistance drops. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're a student. You have a chapter you need to study. Your brain sees 50 pages and immediately says, "Not now." But if your only goal is studying for 5 minutes, suddenly the task feels manageable. You sit down. You start reading. 5 minutes pass. And here's the surprising part. Most of the time, you keep going. Because starting was the hard part. Not continuing. This is something psychologists call activation energy. The energy needed to begin. Once you're moving, staying in motion becomes much easier. And that's exactly what procrastination attacks. It attacks the start, not the finish. But wait. There's another layer to the system that makes it even more powerful. Most people make one huge mistake. They wait until they feel motivated. And motivation is incredibly unreliable. Some days you'll have it. Most days you won't. If successful people only worked when motivated, almost nobody would accomplish anything. Instead, the 5-minute system focuses on momentum. Because momentum creates motivation. Not the other way around. Read that again. Momentum creates motivation. Think about creators on YouTube. A lot of people want to start channels. They have amazing ideas. They imagine getting thousands of views. But they never upload. Why? Because they're thinking about the entire journey. The editing, the scripting, the thumbnails, the competition, everything. And the pressure becomes overwhelming. But imagine if their goal was simply 5 minutes of script writing. That's all. No expectations. No pressure. Just 5 minutes. Suddenly the mountain becomes a small step. And small steps are hard to avoid. This works for fitness too. How many times have you told yourself, you're going to do a 1-hour workout and then ended up doing nothing? Exactly. But if your goal is 5 minutes, 5 minutes of push-ups, 5 minutes of walking, 5 minutes of stretching, you start. And once you're already moving, quitting becomes harder than continuing. That's the secret. The 5-minute system tricks your brain into beginning. But there's still one final piece. And honestly, this might be the most important one. Never judge your 5-minute session. Seriously. Don't say, I only studied for 10 minutes. Don't say, I only wrote a little. Don't say, that wasn't enough. Because the goal isn't perfection. The goal is identity. Every time you start, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. A student who studies. A creator who creates. A person who takes action. And over time, those votes add up. One day you realize you're no longer the person who constantly says, I'll do it later. You're the person who starts. And people massively underestimate how powerful that change is. Because your future isn't built in giant moments. It's built in tiny decisions repeated over and over again. 5 minutes today. 5 minutes tomorrow. 5 minutes next week. The compound effect starts working in your favor. And eventually, the thing that once felt impossible becomes normal. So here's my challenge for you. Tonight, before you sleep, think of the one thing you've been avoiding. Maybe it's studying. Maybe it's going to the gym. Maybe it's starting a YouTube channel. Maybe it's learning a skill you've been putting off for months. Whatever it is, don't promise yourself you'll finish it. Don't promise yourself you'll spend hours on it. Just promise yourself 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes. And when those 5 minutes are over, you're free to stop. But I have a feeling you won't. Because once you start, everything changes. And that's the lesson I wish someone had taught me years ago. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more discipline. You don't need the perfect plan. You just need to begin. 5 minutes at a time. So try it tonight. Seriously. Pick one task. Set a timer. Start. And let momentum do the rest. If this helped you, make sure you stick around. Because we are all trying to become a little better every day. Let's stop waiting for motivation. Let's stop making excuses. Let's level up together. And remember, your future can change in just 5 minutes.